Hey, what's up, guys? This is OmniCosmic. Love your soul, not your role. Peep game, man. I've been trying to get this wheel of emotion thing popping off. If you can see in the background here, this is my second screen, and this is what I've been telling you guys about. Um, the wheel of emotion, the Plutchkin. If you see it right here, Plutchkin's wheel of emotion, or Plutix, whatever, Plutchkin, whatever. That means a psychologist, I think. But this is his wheel. There's many variations of this wheel, right? How people break it down. They use characters to identify. But what I would like to focus on is the basics, which is this is kind of the basic one, right? So you see all these interior. So what it looks like is if you see this as a cone, right? So basically they go from being benign or not you can't feel it or it's there, but then it builds up and it becomes one of the top tier emotions, right? So you have all these segments. So basically, you start off with boredom. Let's make an example, right? I'd like to talk about all of them, but I want to start with something that we can, that's not too harsh because this anger right here, that's really harsh. But you can see it progresses. This is the top tier, right? So basically, this put in a nutshell. You're bored, right? One day you're bored. You're really bored. You're just super bored, right? So that's your feeling for that day. That's your emotion, right? Or for that moment because they come in waves, and we'll talk about that a lot later. Um, so you're bored, right? You're sitting in the house, bored, sitting in the house, whatever that dude's song is, right? Drink some H2O. So as that goes, so go you, right? So your emotions bored all day. Something happens within that day, and then this boredom escalates to disgust, right? Something outside of you that you see with your optics, with your eyes that you witness, or somebody tells you something about someone else, and then it escalates from boredom to disgust. Now, because you're in that realm of emotion, then whatever you intake, because you're in the boredom realm, is gonna excel into what would be disgust, the second tier, right here. So this is the bottom tier, right, the middle tier, kind of all the same. And in between, we'll discuss all that stuff as soon as we learn. I'm learning about this too myself, so this is why it's important for me to disseminate this information to y'all because it's something that I'm working with every single day. So I'm gonna try to deal with every single day. I'm gonna make this a full screen so y'all can see the whole thing a little better. That looks better. Looks better to me. So you see the boredom again. Something happens in between that time. You get a phone call. Whatever it is that affects you, right? It's gonna boil over into disgust, right? So as soon as you hit that disgust level, something now. So now you've accelerated, right? You're in none of these other areas. You're here. This is where you are. This is what I'm saying. Where you are, right at that point. So now you're disgusted. So now, because you're stuck in this realm, right, or this state of boredom, which is disgust, it's escalated to disgust because of some outside source. So now you begin to ferment in this, basically, right? Let's just say, right, it begins to build up. So if somebody called you about somebody else, you're like, oh, that's terrible. Or you saw something on TV that augmented your feeling of boredom and it turned into disgust, which is pretty bad. And then that feeling of disgust turns into loathing, right? It escalates to the top tier, which is loathing. And if you look at all the other emotions, it's the same type of rung escalation, right? Annoyance, anger, rage. You have, and I don't want to go to that far, right? You have interest, anticipation, vigilance, right? So, and then you have what happens in between, right? So you get boredom, you got contempt, and then you had disgust, and then you had loathing. You have boredom, you had disgust, contempt, and then you had remorse, but it went into loathing. Or so I guess the remorse would go here, right? So I'm still learning myself, so. But anyway, you get bored, you have contempt, then you have disgust. So you got bored, somebody called you, gave you a statement of contempt, then you became disgusted. When you became disgusted, at that point, now it begins to build, like I said, to ferment, to augment, to you begin to supply this energy with boredom and contempt, right? And then it elevates into loathing. And then you're going to be in this state of loathing for who knows how long. Can you get out of the state of loathing? Can you change that by um, utilizing tools that we're going to learn about as we go on how to deal with your emotions, because that's what Love Your Soul and Not Your Role is all about, how to deal with your emotions. So this is the Wheel of Emotion. Look it up. Um, it's I think it's Robert Plitchkin. I'm going to look him up now so you guys can check that out. So here's some of the images that I found. This one's from Pinterest, as you can see here. So this is one of the graphs, but you can search. Here's another one. Right, here's another one. This one's pretty interesting. Right, so here you got boredom, you get contempt, right? And then this one's pretty cool because it has those little graphics with the the emoji faces. I kind of like that. That kind of gives it a bit more realism to how are you able to understand that. Just real quick, the reason why I'm talking about the wheel of emotions, because we all live on emotions. I live on emotions. You can't live without them. Nobody can live without them. But if we don't understand how to identify them, how to accept them, how to appreciate them, and how to build them, um, and how not to resist them, right? How to accept them. Just like up here, like you accept love, serenity, optimism. You accept all these good feelings and emotions, but you attempt to reject all of the ones that are still part of you, right? And this is where mental dissonance comes in, right? Is when you have rejection of your own personal feelings, right? Because that's how you feel. So you can learn how to accept them, learn how to deal with them, learn how to identify them, so that you can what I say, communicate them to whomever you're dealing with, your family, your friends, yourself. Write them down, whatever the case may be, and we'll get into all of that. This is really important to me. Again, like I said, because I had some issues, where I thought I had, borderline personality disorder. I was diagnosed with PTSD, and this is really close to my heart. And I study every single day on how to learn how to understand and how to allow these things to happen without going overboard and doing things that I will regret, or hurting someone else. But check this out. This one's really cool. I like it. It's nice. If you just put in the search bar like I did up here, I put in Wheel of Emotion, and it brought up this for me. I clicked on images when you browse, and then it'll show you this. So you can keep on going. You got one here. It says the game. They break it down a little bit more scientific. Here it is. This is the guy's name, Plutchik, I think. Plutchik, Wheel of Emotions, right? And then over here, there's the top 10 emotions, and there's like 34,000 ways to describe emotions. So that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and this is in Russian or some other language. I don't know. And this is a pretty cool geometric design around it. So I wanted to make this video real quick to let you guys know that I am still doing this, and this is what it looks like. It's a cone. It's a progressive cone. You see the top tier would be this section here. Then you have the middle, right? The second tier. Then you have the first tier, right? Where it all begins. Okay? This is a nice one. I like this one. You can also order this stuff online and all that stuff. I'm not going to edit this video. I just wanted to drop it so that you guys can understand what I was trying to do was build my is to put everything together so that I can read this to you guys, and you can look at this one. This is super detailed. Look at all of this. All of this. Look at all of these emotions. This one's really nice. Under anger. Look at that. Let down, humiliated, bitter, mad. So if we learn how to describe all of these things, we wouldn't just be angry or happy. Those are the two extremes. See? That's where I used to fall in. I was either happy or angry. I could never be in between or below, because I didn't know how. I don't know how to describe those. I don't have the vocabulary, which is this. This is the vocabulary of emotions. If you're able to utilize this on a daily basis and understand what confusion means and how it feels, what it feels like, instead of saying I'm surprised, yeah, I'm a little confused about that, right? So you should be able to identify this, describe it, and define it in your emotions. So this is what this is all about. So I just wanted to drop this video, let you guys have it, show you what I'm working on, what I've been working on, and let you guys dissect it for a while. Check it out online if you get a chance. There are other scientific, wheels of emotions. If you want to check them out, that's cool. But I wanted to get it started so I can get it started, because I was just telling my wife I was busy watching the NBA Finals, it's on right now, but this is more important to me. This has been fermented in my mind for a long time. And check this one out. This one's pretty cool. So check it out, guys. You know what I'm saying? Read it. Take your time. And then I'm gonna break down some more information about this stuff. But I'll be sharing in the future, like tomorrow or the day after. I got my cameras on. I have my YouTube, so I'm gonna drop this on there. And I'm gonna drop you guys a link in Facebook. So as always, love your soul, not your role. And this is OmniCosmic in the house on the wheel of emotions. One love. Remember, love your soul, not your role.